Chapter 7. A Lost Oasis. The departure gate at the airport was a flurry of activity, but for Mina, it was a moment suspended in time. She was filled with a bittersweet mixture of excitement and sadness. Leaving Liam was harder than she had anticipated. She hugged him tightly, a swarm of butterflies swarmed in her stomach. "I'm going to miss you so much," she whispered into his shoulder. He pulled back, his eyes shining with pure joy for her. "I'm not going to miss you," he said, a playful grin on his face. "I'm going to be so busy being excited for you I won't have time." He then leaned in closer, his voice dropping to a serious tone. "I watched your video all the way through, you know. Every single minute. What you said at the end, about your parents and Maya. It was beautiful. You're going to have an amazing time." He gave her a final squeeze. "Now go on. You all have a plane to catch. Break a leg." His words, a serene show of his love, filled Mina with a warm sense of happiness. They kissed a proper goodbye and then Mina joined her mom and Maya. She waved to Liam one last time before disappearing into the security line, a horizon of new possibilities awaiting her. The flight to Incheon International Airport was long but filled with exciting conversations. As they made their way through immigration, Mina felt a different kind of nervousness. She had been here before, but this time felt different. This time she was here to meet her birth mother. She had even bought a special gadget, a small translating device that could instantly replicate a conversation, turning it into a real-time dialogue. She had arrived in her hanbok, the gift from her parents, as she wanted to honor the woman who had given her life. They found her standing nervously with Mina's grandmother, both of them holding small bouquets of flowers. Mina and Hannah's eyes met across the crowded terminal. In that moment, 100 years of longing and a lifetime of unanswered questions vanished. There was no awkwardness, no hesitation. Mina ran into her mother's arms. The embrace was long, a silent conversation of tears and relief. It stretched on for what felt like an eternity, a hug that contained all the love and forgiveness Hannah had harbored in her heart for so long. Eventually, the embrace became so long that Sarah and Maya started to shift uncomfortably. They were happy for Mina, but this was a deep, sacred moment that they couldn't fully comprehend. Finally, the two pulled apart, both of them crying with relief. The translating gadget had yet to be used, but everything had already been said. They made their way back to a small, humble house where they were greeted with a beautiful meal of food, tea, and desserts. The atmosphere was warm and filled with the kind of love that transcends language. Mina used the translating gadget to ask Hannah about her life. "This is a wonderful place," Mina said, the gadget's synthesized voice a little stilted. Hannah smiled. The gadget translated her response. "It is small, but it is a good home. My father, your grandfather, passed away 5 years ago, but we have managed." She then asked about Mina's life, her voice full of pride as the gadget translated her words. "You have done so well. When your grandmother told me about your videos, I was over the moon with excitement." The conversation flowed easily, the gadget bridging the gap between their two very different lives. As the evening wound down, Sarah checked her watch. "We should get back to the hotel," she said, wanting to make sure everyone got a good night's rest to tackle the jet lag. Just as they were about to leave, Mina asked a question that had been on her mind. She turned on the translating gadget, which worked its magic, allowing her to speak directly to Hannah. "I know this is a lot," she said, "but would it be okay if I stayed the night?" Hannah's eyes widened, a slight hesitation on her face. She responded, and the gadget instantly translated, "We would love to have you, but we don't have beds. We sleep on mats on the floor. If you are okay with that, and if it is okay with your mom, then you can stay." This practice seemed very strange to Mina, but it was very widespread in South Korea. Mina froze for a moment, a wave of confusion washing over her. Her mom? He thought for a second. Then she turned to Sarah, whose face held a mix of surprise and understanding. Sarah smiled and nodded, giving her permission. It was in that moment of silence, as her heart pounded, that Mina had a powerful and sudden realization. She had two moms. And in that moment she understood that her heart was big enough to hold love for both of them. As the taxi drove back to the hotel, Sarah and Maya talked about how much Mina and Hannah looked alike. It was as if they were looking into a mirror, a startling resemblance that was undeniable. Everyone was exhausted, but as the night went on, Mina couldn't sleep. She got up and slipped out the door, wanting to walk around the city. She wanted to be where her mother was from, to feel the streets and hear the sounds of her birthland. But in her haste, she forgot to bring her translating gadget and phone, though she did remember to grab a few dollars. As she walked, people would ask her questions to see if she was okay, their voices filled with kindness. She would just smile and shake her head, and soon she was completely lost, a feeling she had not had since she first started dating Liam. After wandering around for hours, she made her way to a 24-hour PC bong room, where she played games and managed to sleep for a few hours until the sun came up. Meanwhile, in the vast openness of Yellowstone National Park, David had found his oasis. He hadn't seen another person for 2 full days. He sat by a crackling campfire, cooking canned baked beans and potatoes, and a fish he had caught that afternoon. It was peaceful, a luminous sky filled with a million stars above him. The only sounds were the crickets and the gentle thumping of his own heart. For the first time in years, he could truly listen to himself. He loved his family, but he was also loving this freedom. The next morning, as he put on his helmet, he started the engine of his motorcycle. In that exact moment, as the engine came to life and he thought of Mina and how she was doing, wondering if she was enjoying her trip, 1,000 miles away, Mina was walking around feeling completely lost and out of place.